Hello everyone, happy Monday. It is December 16th, 2019. I'm looking at an article by eNews online, of course, and I am based in the United States. So this is what's showing up on my browser when you search for anything Meghan Markle. Of course, there's different ways you can search, but the point being is that this is the kind of news that we're going to see in the States of Meghan Markle. Really, it's starting to feel like they just want to keep her name out there, whether it's something as simple as her issuing a card, or a photo of herself from when she was 16, when we clearly know that she's anywhere between 38 and 48, somewhere in between there, because there are articles and things online that state that she's actually older than what she is portraying to be. And that's just something that actresses and actors do because of the industry that they're in. You know, it's not good to age when you're an actress. But for her to come out and say now that she's, 45, let's say, that would be a little bit... I don't think it would be something she needs to do or that she would want to do. And knowing that Harry's like 33. So it would just be all over the place. So right now the article is How Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's Christmas Card Will Break Royal Tradition. We don't care, but let's read it anyway. Because it's only relevant. It's only relevant if we feel that we want to use the information to kind of critique and kind of follow the royals in the way that I'm doing, and other people, of course, are doing as well on many different platforms. But I'm doing it because I really feel that I have so much to say and opinions of what is going on. Everybody has an opinion, so we can exercise it or not. And I'm sure most of us exercise it. I thought that I would share on my channel things about the royals, not only critiquing and sharing and researching about them, but also just updating on current events concerning the royals, especially with a focus on Miss Markle and Prince Harry and that union and everything that's happened and is happening since then. So in this article, which I won't read verbatim because you can read. And all my content is sourced on the public domain. And I own none of the photos. I'm not out in front of their home or seeing them somewhere and taking photos. If I have seen them, I would definitely post that is my photo. But it's clear that only journalists are clipping these photos, and if they're doing that, well, then they have the rights to them, so I have no rights to them. It's just public knowledge, and it's posted all over the internet. This article today talks about how the Duke and Duchess are going to be doing a Christmas card, but it's going to be issued sometime this week, so it's Monday, so any time now, and it's going to be a little different. And what's going to be different about it, basically, as this article has said, is it's going to include Doria Ragland. So it may include Doria Ragland. It's not saying it definitely will, but you have to look at this article with a grain of salt. Like, is this already been pushed out by the PR firm, and it's a one and done, so it will contain Doria Ragland, or is someone speculating that they think it's going to be? So it does say may also include Meghan's mother, Doria Ragland. It clearly will include Meghan and her son and her husband, Prince Harry. But Doria may or may not be in it. But if this article is out, then I'm assuming it will include Doria Ragland. Now, my question is, why would the Christmas card of Meghan, Prince Harry, and Archie include one grandparent when there's clearly 3 other people that are grandparents? So there's three other people. There's Thomas Markle, there's the Queen, and Prince Philip, the Queen's husband. So why only include Doria Ragland? Well, we can deduct probability that the Queen can't be bothered with such a photo. Sorry, I just knocked over a bunch of things on my desk. But the Queen probably can't be bothered with a Christmas card. And, secondarily, it's not a usual thing, right? The Queen doesn't usually sit for photos, for Christmas cards of her grandson or great nieces, or she doesn't need to, she doesn't do that. Okay. We haven't seen it that I know of. If you see a pictures of that, post them up, let me know. But we also really would think that if Doria is the only grandparent, then on Meghan's side, then why not just, include Thomas Markle, Meghan Markle's father? I don't know. That's the big question mark that I see. It's not so much that why would they be putting out a Christmas card with her mother? It's like, add the rest of it in. Why would they be putting a Christmas card with just Doria and not Mr. Markle, Meghan's father, her namesake? Why not? Well, Prince Harry's never met Thomas Markle, according to all news outlets, but has had conversations with him on the phone. They obviously didn't go wonderfully well because maybe Thomas Markle had said things like, promise me that you'll be, kind to my daughter, that you won't hit her or anything, because obviously Meghan had an incident. Now, if you look on the internet, and I know I've read it somewhere, and I just didn't think I'd be bringing it up today, but you can read on the internet, if you source it, that Meghan Markle's father said that because he's had known of an incident where Meghan may have been hit or something. Some kind of altercation happened, whether it was not so serious or whatever, but I know I read that, and God knows it's on the internet. Like I said, anything I'm reading is sourced on the internet. It's not I'm not making it up. If I'm saying I'm making something up, I'll be like, what I think? This is what I think. So this is not something I'm making up. It's something that was on the internet in terms of why her father it was speculating why her father had said such a thing to Prince Harry, because it would seem out of the blue, right? Oh, don't hit my daughter. And it still sounds weird because you're talking to a prince, but still, princes are just people too. He's just a guy. Strip Prince Harry of all his money and all his awards and accolades that he's gotten because he has money, then he's just a man, like all the rest of men. He would be just a person. So why is Doria Ragland the only grandparent in the photo? And if she's the only grandparent in the photo of Meghan's family, like the only person there on Meghan's side, then why not include Thomas Markle? Now, I'm not professing to even know about their personal business, their life, the narrative, the backstories. We only know what we read. And that can be misleading because, again, we only know what we read. So if someone wants to put misinformation or has gained misinformation, we then will be picking up that misinformation and spreading it forth without even realizing we're spreading the wrong thing. We don't mean to, but we can only know and repeat and critique and have opinions on what we read and say. And that goes for what Meghan issues out too. If she's in control of Sussex Royale, the Instagram platform, if she's on that, channel, and that platform, and she's putting things out, we can only go by what she says. She herself can be lying or twisting something, or she can be misrepresenting herself or whatever she's talking about. We just go by it. For instance, like when Meghan puts out on her Instagram and misspells something, and people pick up on it, like journalists pick up on it, and they point out how many errors there are, then we know that that's true. And before a journalist or someone will point out all the errors in spelling and the grammar's all off, then we ourselves, if we don't catch it, we just repeat what we see. So if she's saying something good or bad or indifferent, we're just going to repeat it because that's what we think is, straight from the source. Now, I think that's why Meghan had created Sussex Royale, because she wanted to be able to be in control of all the pictures and all the photos and own them all. And we are supposedly getting it straight through her. But big deal. I mean, Donald Trump says, he puts his own stuff out there too, and it's still stupid. Like, if you go on Trump's Instagram or Twitter, it's still nonsensical crap that he spews. So having Duchess Sussex Royale being like the go-to for everything right out of Meghan's mouth to God's ears really doesn't make me feel any better or worse. It's just another thing to go and check out if you want to form an opinion that makes some sense. But still, just because someone puts something on their Instagram or their Facebook or their Tumblr or their YouTube doesn't mean it is the truth or it is from the direct source. It's anybody's guess but the person who issues it out. Now, I feel really bad if I see a photo of Meghan, Archie, and Prince Harry and Doria Ragland. It's only going to remind me and underline furthermore that Thomas Markle has been wronged, or Thomas Markle has been shunned or erased from Meghan's life. Knowing what we know that's been reported in the internet everywhere, that Meghan's father was the one who raised her. For the most part, he was the most active and conscientious parent in raising her. Now, I'm not discrediting Doria, but we're also not hearing anything about Doria Ragland. We're not hearing anything about what an awesome mother she was. We're not hearing anything about all the good that she did for Meghan, which I'm sure there is things. She's her mother. But we're also not hearing the bad things about her. Everybody has two sides. Sometimes there's two stories. We're not hearing anything from Doria Ragland or people that knew her when Meghan was growing up to say, but Thomas did this, but Doria also did this. We don't hear stories about Doria Ragland being at school and doing these things with her daughter, or participating in school plays, or paying for her tuition. We're not hearing that. And normally, wouldn't you hear from both sides, but you're not hearing it. So it makes you just wonder just a touch if any truth goes to Thomas Markle and raising Meghan. Now, regardless if he did everything for her, it's still, Meghan is who she is. She's going to be who she was no matter what. However, your parents do play a role in your upbringing, good, bad, or indifferent. And just like the generation before them and the generation before them. But if I saw a photo for Christmas with the three of them, Archie, Meghan, and Prince Harry, I would assume, and Doria Ragland, sorry, I would be automatically thinking, wow, they just wiped out the grandfather completely. And furthermore, it's Thomas Markle who has lineage that leads back to the English court. So the British, I don't know about the monarchy, but he does have lineage that goes back to England. And I'm wondering if that's the the lineage that's tying her, Meghan, to the royal family. In other words, my understanding is the royal family just doesn't let anyone into its family. That there must be some type of bloodline that extends to that person. That's my understanding. And if someone else knows it as to be something totally different, let me know, because it's my understanding from watching other videos, England and Britain and how it became, what it is today, that they usually, especially today, they usually require like the bloodline to be very pure. And it can only be very pure if you're marrying people that have some trace of your blood, and how far back they need to go. Obviously, that takes time to find out, but I would imagine that being billionaires, that they would have access to genealogy that the average person doesn't. And they also have the money to, make the timeline of that discovery go faster than, say, you or me. And in order to really trace someone's ancestry, you do need blood. You can't just be like swabbing your cheek and getting your, you could be 44% Congolese. You don't just do the swab. It's extensive and more expensive to do DNA by blood, and it takes more time. It takes a lot more time. So with that said, I wonder if it's Thomas Markle's family lineage, his ancestry, that takes us back to England, which I believe I did see some type of mini documentary on that bloodline that goes back to England. And that would be the link between Meghan and, say, the royal family. So that, I just would say, it would be because of Thomas Markle that Meghan is actually where she is. And if anyone knows anything different, then please let me know in the comments. But this Christmas card won't be something that breaks royal tradition in terms of anyone would give a care. It'll just be another reason that we all just shake our head, put our hand to our head, and scratch our head saying, this is kind of odd. Why do we A, care, and B, why is it so? Where is Prince Harry's loyalty to his family? And more importantly, why does he not display loyalty to his family in the manner that, again, simple things like this? Yes, it's so simple, but yes, it's still not going to be in line with what the monarchs have been doing for years. And I really don't feel that it's significant either way, but I still wonder where the loyalty is, because he's looking very unhappy these days. He's seeming to be missing in action. You're not seeing a lot of him, and I don't really see that they're doing any formal royal engagements. They seem to be doing a lot of things for themselves, and it reminds me a lot of when in the past I guess it would be his great uncle, it would be his great uncle, I think, but he married Wallace Simpson. So, it seems like they're just being alienated and kind of pushed aside. So Meghan has gotten her title. She's gotten some, she's obviously boosted her her monetary worth, and she secured her family lineage in terms of, her son, and his future in terms of his education and life will be a lot better than, say, the average Joe. But if she divorces Prince Harry, will she lose her title, which I think she should, just throwing that in there. And Prince Harry is still not found the real. And that's what's really sad about this whole situation. So the Christmas card is just making me think of how sad the whole situation is, really, in a deeper level. But if you feel differently, let me know in the comments. I certainly will explore it more. And of course, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.